I'm a dabbler. I love the latest and greatest. I glom onto it the second it's produced. I think there are technologies that are great, and that could be anything from biomedical technologies and nanotechnologies that allow us to have higher qualities of life and longer lifespans, to something as rudimentary as a communication device that allows you to communicate with people on a more consistent basis than you would be able to prior to that technology. So in those perspectives, from those vantage points, technology is inherently good. Of course, on the other hand, you have hydrogen bombs, and you have bioweaponry, and you have unfettered industrial progress that results in environmental degradation. So along those lines, technology is evil. But if I were to say overall, I think it's doing more good than harm. I mean, I don't really see a big difference between getting your life saved by an EKG at 18 years old because you fell in an icy river and you would have been dead without the EKG bringing you back to life. So there's technology facilitating someone being alive, and yes, it's kind of an odd extreme to take that to the example of reconstructing an arm out of a mechanized device, the RoboCop aliens kind of prototype. But I don't see that that's morally or ethically. I don't have a moral ethical problem with that. I think it's a natural progression of where technology is going, honestly. One of the most annoying things about teaching on a college campus is the texting while walking phenomenon. And people running into you. It's just absolutely mind-boggling in the last 5 years, the prevalence of smartphones, and not just smartphones, but people's heads being buried in their smartphone while they're walking to class. So absolutely, you're losing out on that external ambient environment when you're focused in on a phone. But I think there are sort of times and places that you should be dropping all technology and focusing on that ambient environment. At a school that you've been going to for 3 years and walking the same path to class, the necessity of being wide awake and involved in your environment isn't as great. Maybe your time is more well served talking to grandma on your Google glasses on the way to class. Well, as technology has become cheaper and smaller, and internet speeds have increased, and data plans are available now. There's more draw at any given second during the day. What's going on in that phone in my pocket? Something's got to be new on Facebook or email or the news. If students aren't feeling the buzzing in their pocket like I got a new message, I find that they're just as engaged as they were 5 years ago. That attention span's there once we have the connection. It's just establishing the connection is becoming more difficult. Two ways. From a employee standpoint, I think technology is making it's making the job hunt more efficient. What with online portfolios and the ability to put all your content or all your self-promotional materials on a website and send an employer a link instead of sending them an overnight paper packet along with a CD and God knows a Betamax tape. So yeah, in terms of from the employee standpoint, I think, and LinkedIn and social networking, I think technology is improving that process. But the counterweight to that obviously is the ability or the disturbing trend of employers, mining social media to discover black marks on their potential employee. Looking at how someone portrays themselves on Facebook and Twitter, I don't prescribe to the if you're a professional you should get a Facebook page and make it completely sanitized and extremely professional and just sort of bland. That's not the point of the social network. Honestly, you shouldn't be on it if that's your cause. The whole point of social media is to give people insight into your specific personality, and everyone's different, and everyone has moments of, enlightenment and gaps and dips and pinnacles in life, and that's the stuff that fascinates me in social media. So I find an effective way to use that is blending bits of my persona with education, because this is sort of the social media generation. We haven't, as a society, we're just starting to realize the repercussions of unfiltered social media posting, and it was all promotional cheerleading. Post it, do this, check out YouTube, make a video if you're online now, tweet something if you're on Twitter, put a picture of your friends partying because that's what everyone else is doing on Facebook. And now I think we're slowly starting to get this realization that, whoa, that's just basically the same as plastering this on a billboard that I'm a lush. And so it doesn't surprise me that 70% of employers have balked at what they found online, because honestly there is too much online and people aren't realizing the potential for judgments to be made based on the content you're posting. But rubber band theory says that everything goes way out and then it comes back and then it regresses to the mean. So I think we are seeing a regression to the mean. I've read all the crazy scenarios of what could happen, and then I've read all the utopian scenarios of how it can solve the world's problems. And no, it's not going to do either, I believe. But it's this natural progression of humans wanting to put a wheel on the cart and make it roll, and that's a lot easier. And why write things out when we can just put a piece of paper on some blocks and then it's replicated? It's the natural progression of that human penchant for making life more efficient, life easier, if you will, life more interesting, if you will. We desire knowledge, and the internet is really catering to that human desire for information. And I don't think it's going to solve the world's evils, but I don't think it's going to be our downfall either. It's sort of like you can't beat them now. You have to join them in terms of technology if you're going to be a journalist. There's no way you're going to succeed in journalism if you don't embrace technology, and I will say embrace technology.